Hey folks, welcome back. I am gonna have to see about opening this, because otherwise you won't be able to see a lot. Hi, I'm gonna be preparing some Dungeons and Dragons today. I don't know how many people will watch this, I don't know how many people will see this, but here we are. Let's get something cooking. So, next Friday, I will have a Dungeons and Dragons game with a couple friends of mine in real life, and yeah, I want to prepare it a little bit. I completely forgot to do anything up until now. Oops. I have vague ideas. I want to work them out a little bit. I'm going to use the Natural Crits Home Brewery to specifically help me set things up in a slightly more visually pleasing way. So, I've been messing around a little bit, hence why I was like a minute late. I want to see specifically about like tables. Yeah, so this is interesting, except for the fact that I do not want to call it tables. I'm going to call it schedule. And then this can be morning, noon, and then copy this. Evening, no, afternoon. And evening. And after that, we have night. I don't think I'm gonna do a lot. Actually, no, I will add night to this. So, I don't think I will be using cost, damage, weight, or properties. I just really want a list. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So, in the morning, I want a couple of morning activities. Specifically something that is easier for people to do, and like involves a little bit of mechanics. Some of the mechanics I might want to reintroduce. I might want to introduce now so that they know how it works, because one of the players never played Dungeons and Dragons before. For this, I would, for instance, be using a archery range, which would be a small, like shoot the duck kind of thing. People just using bow and arrow or whatever they have at the whatever they have available at that point in time to shoot stuff randomly. There could also be the Hall of Illusions. This is from Witchlight. So I'm gonna use some of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight things in the in the thing, specifically so that I don't have to think about everything. It's lazy, yes, I give you that, but at the same time, Hall of Illusions, and I might wanna add the creature catching thing right here. Just a couple things that are available from the moment people arrive. These things will last for the rest of the day. I think the archery range can be done in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, and so on. At noon specifically, I would like the The food courts. I'm gonna have to think about some of the things I'm gonna be making in that. The food court, what could also be done at noon? The popcorn stand, stuff like that, I don't know. Popcorn stand, stuff like that, snack things. And then from noon on, let's see about a activity. Let's say a carousel opens up at that time as well. In the afternoon, the tavern in beer tent opens up. We'll see about what we can do there. I wanna add how am I gonna be calling this? I wanna add a little thing where people have to like steal stuff from a known quantity. The Tower of Loot, maybe? Yeah, Tower of Loot sounds... it's like the Tower of Terror, but instead of finding terror, you find loot. I'm gonna be using a system from Blades in the Dark for this, if I can, if they like it or not. We'll see. And then the Tower of Loot and... let's say the Dragonfly rides Witchlight. In the evening, things that will happen more in the evening would be the Haunted Mansion. I'm gonna try and do something with it. I'm not entirely sure if that's gonna be a thing. I will also for the evening. Actually, instead of the popcorn stand, let's do one. A friend of mine, gnome tossing. Let's do that in the from noon on. Sounds cool. Then here we have a fireworks show. We have sleep and maybe something else. I'm not entirely sure what yet. So these as well. I have been thinking, but I don't really have a thing. An idea. I will also do this here. So, for those that do not know, I have a 3D printer at home. And then the scroll puzzle. There we go. Gonna do that specifically there because that's gonna be a little bit more interesting. In the evening, let's drinking games. And let's call it a town show. People showing off their skills and stuff. And at night, this is not needed. There is going to be something happening at night that might take a little bit. But yeah. Nope, okay. It's not going to be a thing then. Awesome. Okay, so we have a small schedule. In the morning we have the archery range, the Hall of Illusions, the creature catching game, the scroll puzzle, the food court, gnome tossing, a carousel. In the afternoon, at noon. In the afternoon we have the tavern, the inn, the beer tent, the Tower of Loot, and the dragonfly rides. In the evening we have the Haunted Mansion drinking games, a talent show, and at night we have a small fireworks display and some sleep. Okay. Now, I believe it's this page. Yep, sure is. And then I might want to give it something special. So in this, we have these. Page number 1. There we go. And then footnote. This is gonna be schedule. So you'll see here down the bottom that I have done that. I will put this page at the back, and then I don't know about these. So, let's copy these. Then we should see morning here and page number 2. There we go. Now, in the morning we have a couple things, like for instance the archery range. Specifically, if I want to go archery range, if I can spell, should be fairly interesting. At the end of the festival terrain, there's a range set out for people to test their skills with ranged weaponry. People can be seen tossing javelins, shooting short bows, launching darts from crossbows, and some are even seen using magic on the targets, seemingly leaving not a scratch on them. It seems the archery range is a great place for people to come together, boast about their skills, and show them off. So, I'm gonna add a I'm not entirely sure. Okay, a white block maybe? Like, how do I do this? It used to be a thing for this that was... Oh, PHB, that's the one. And then a monster stat block, unframed. This is gonna be a magicked target. Medium constructs. Armor class is going to be 10. Hit points is going to be 100. Speed is 0 feet. As for strength con, this all doesn't really matter. Let's just make it all 10. Condition immunities, none. Senses, none. Languages, none. And a challenge, 0. Then we have abilities. Did I just press O instead of 0? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool, awesome. As for abilities, it has none. Ranged immunity. The magic target is completely immune to any damage taken from ranged projectiles and spells. And actions, none. That's going to be the magic target. If people want to attack it using melee, melee vulnerability. The magic target is extremely vulnerable to melee damage. Why is that? Like, is it just literally that reason? No. Yeah, never mind. Oh, I just see a spelling mistake, a typo. I make those all the time. The area of the range is littered with magic targets of all sorts. Some at 10 foot, some at 30 foot, some closer, and some further away. The magic that causes these targets to become completely immune to damage from ranged attacks is the same magic that causes them to become super brittle when attacked from close by. Magic has been tried to be used on armor, weaponry, and living and creatures. But it seems only these targets are affected by the magic. There we go. This is pretty much just for them to have a target, for them to have something to shoot at. Also, it's not a chainmail, it's natural armor. There we go. It's gonna be that magic target. That is gonna be page 2. Okay, so next up, Hall of Illusions. Hall of Illusions. Okay, the Hall of Illusions. The Hall of Illusions is a large tent with with full height mirrors stretching from one end to the other. Whenever someone steps in the tent, nothing seems odd at first, except for when they gaze into one of the mirrors. Doing so will show them a vision of what they used to look like, or what they will look like in future times. There are 20 mirrors, 21 mirrors in the tent, with the 10 first ones showing earlier years of the person looking into them, the 11th being a mirror of the now, and the then last mirrors showing visions of the future. It's unknown if the if asked. It's unknown if these visions are things that are as they will be, or if they're only one of the many possible futures visible. This is going to be rather important because one of the players is going to have some fun with this. Also, I should change this to be right here. There we go. Now, oh yeah, I should actually have some vertical spacing, so let's do. Let's do this. This is one of the things from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. This is just something for fun. This doesn't have anything specific. This is just going to be a thing. Now, I don't know, can I? Column break. Is that the one? I think that's the one. I think I should have just done this. Column break. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Cool. And then the next one up would be the creature catching thing. Okay, so this is gonna be this is pretty much just gonna be Pokemon. So it's a thing that I've tried putting it into a couple of them, but no one ever bit, so I'm gonna try and put it in this one again. Creature catching. A small paddock is divided into smaller enclosures. Each enclosure with each having a different kind of animal inside. There's bunnies, cats, dogs, pigs, not bigs. Where's Wedge? And several other kinds of animals. The attendant, I think that's how you spell it, attendant. Yeah. And if I do this, oh, that's just French. Okay, cool. Which is someone who waits, by the way. The attendant standing at the paddock is... Why is the music stopped? Why has the music stopped? Okay, cool. Just took a while. By the way, this is all music from the YouTube music library. Yeah, it should be Creative Commons or the YouTube audio licensing thing. It should be fine. It should be fine. It's not the greatest music ever, but... attendant standing at the paddock is holding out a couple of crystals. A blue, a red, and a green one. Upon coming closer, he smiles friendly and asks if the people wants to catch a creature. So, for this. This is gonna be a... No, shut up, I don't need that. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't open Outlook. This one most likely, and then I'm gonna say this is gonna be called base rules So, every player gets one crystal of one element. Gets one crystal. Choosing the color of their liking. Going through the enclosures, players will be able to use these crystals of the creatures and catch it in the crystal. The creature becomes imbued with the elements of the crystal. Let's see, what color did I do it in? Blue. Blue crystals cause a creature to become aligned to water. Red crystals cause a creature to become aligned to fire. Green crystals cause a creature to become aligned to... I would say grass. Yeah, let's do grass. Like nature, grass, it's all. Players are thereafter asked to name the creature they got. These creatures can be used in several ways. To battle one another, to be cared for, or to show off tricks they have learned. Catching creatures. Creature catching is done by... I should actually stop the page, I believe. If I do it now, it will end a bit nicer. There we go. Catching creatures. Creature catching is done by lowering my page. Using a creature crystal on a creature. It's gonna be a lot of creatures on a being. And using one arcana or animal handling to try and persuade either the crystal to take in the creature or to persuade the creature to be caught. I believe animal handling is Can I go to my characters, please, stupid site? They changed D&D Beyond again. Again. Okay, cool. I believe animal handling is wisdom? But I could be mistaken. It would make sense to be... yeah, wisdom. Would make sense to be wisdom. Is depending on the ferocity of the creature. Any and all creatures in this paddock only require a... do I make it super easy or like regular easy? I'm gonna make it regular easy, require a 10 in of the skills to be caught. If I'm not gonna go on with more than this. Statistics. Any animal, beast, monstrosity, or otherwise is caught in this way gets a base hit point HP pool of 5 hit points and 2 attacks. Now I need another one of those class table, PHB monster stand blocks. Illiterate construct of the candy store. Wow. Okay. Natural hit points they get 5, and speed is 10 foot. Strength is gonna be 10. There we go. Condition immunities, none. Dark vision, they do not have. Passive perception is perception, which is wisdom, plus 2, which would be 12. And languages understands one language of the catcher. Challenge rating is 1 divided by 2, let's say. How much HP would that give? Oh, gosh darn it. Paints, maps, hero tier, master tier. Where are the things? Give me a monster. Bat. Why is that website now suddenly horrendous? Okay, apparently a bat is not 1/4. You know what? I'm gonna make it 0. And the experience you gain from this is gonna be 10. bonus proficiency, bonus 2. This is gonna have cross typing. The creature has taken on a form with more greenery. On the anatomy, leaves, flowers, green colors, and such are prevalent. Then water resistance. The creature takes half damage from water-based attacks. Fire vulnerability. The creature takes double damage from fire-based attacks. And it has 2 moves. Number 1, it's gonna be like scratch, tackle. Let's just call it tackle. I don't know if that's how Pokemon work. Bulbasaur moves. Let me see. What does Bulbasaur learn? Bulbasaur learns tackle. And if I go to Turtwig, that's why are you not also tackle? If I go to Trico, is it also tackle? Yeah, it's also tackle. This is then going to be tackle, and then the grass cut. So tackle and grass cut are going to be melee weapon attacks. They're gonna have a +2 to hit. Reach of 5 foot. One target in a hit is (1d6). So it's gonna be 3. There we go. Then we take this entire thing, control, paste, and paste. Oops. Can I? Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. This is going to be a fire creature. Fire learns Scratch, I believe. Let's see about no. Scorbunny. No, also tackle. I'm gonna call it Scratch in this case, and then Embers, and then fire typing with more fire and sparks in the anatomy. That can go. Creature takes half damage from grass-based attacks. What's a base attacks? No. Oops. How's the setup going? It's going. It's going. This is just a dumb little thing I try to put in pretty much whatever game I try and make. This is gonna be for session 0. It's going. I like the Natural Crit Home Brewery. Fire creature, and then last but not least, water creature. It's going to be pretty much the same thing here. This is all going to stay the same. Water typing, more water on their autonomy. Teardrops, waves, blue colors and such are prevalent. The creature takes half damage from fire, base attacks, and grass vulnerability from grass-based attacks. And then soak. I'm gonna call it soak. It's not the worst. Embers, soak, and grass cut. Yeah, seems fine. After that, I'm gonna do this. Page 3. And that's going to be casting creatures, catching creatures. And then the last bit of the morning is gonna be the scroll puzzle. This is gonna be fairly easy. Just make it a regular thing. Players are given a 3D printed scroll puzzle. Have fun solving it. That's literally going to be that preparation. So creature casting, Hall of Illusions and creature catching is page 2, let's say, yeah. So I'm gonna have to change that here as well. 2, and then the scroll puzzle is page 4. There we go. That should be that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the other 2. I might make it an estimated time. I don't know. Like, cost is not going to be a thing. Damage is not going to be a thing. Weight is not going to be a thing. I might delete. This. Yeah, and then this. Yeah. That's going to be an issue. This one. Oh, Hall of Illusions has apparently, yeah. Huh? Okay. Huh. Okay. Then this one up until here. This one up until here. That makes sense. This one up until here. 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 And this one up until here. There we go. Seems fair. Okay, cool. To make this a little bit more, a little bit neater. This is purely for my own. Let's call it amusement, but for pretty much for my own mental states. Oh, and there's an absolutely funny one in this. I might have to rewrite all of this in Dutch, because my friends asked me to DM in Dutch. There we go. Page, no, and then time spent. Archery range is gonna be 1 hour. Hall of Illusions can be like 30 minutes. The creature catching thing is gonna be 1 hour. Scroll puzzle. Non-applicable. I should actually do one of these, shouldn't I? Yeah, that keeps it a little bit further apart. Though, if I do this and do it here as well, does that look any better? No, I definitely need it either halfway or not, or to the left. Okay, no, I need to go back to you. Yeah. Morning. Or noon. Oh no, this is still morning. And then this is gonna be a wasted page, but oh. C, Control V, change this to page 6. Awesome. And you can go. Okay, awesome. Now. The afternoon. I should actually take a screenshot of this and put it on my second monitor. Yeah, just what I wanted. The food court. This is gonna be noon. Good. Now this is going to be page 5. In the center of the festival, there's a grouping of tents with delicacies from all over the kingdom. Hearty stews, loaves of bread, pastries, and some very sweet dish can be found in several stalls. Okay, so the first one is gonna be potluck. There's a I want to say pleasant looking, but that's not entirely like what would be the thing. There's a jolly looking halfling lady who is several years into her last decade. That's dark. With grey and white hairs, standing in the stall behind a couple of stewing pots with 3 different colors. 1. White stew. 2. Red stew. And 3. Brown stew. Players are welcome to partake in any one of the dishes. White stew is a chicken broth with heavy cream and pieces of chicken fillet. Chicken breast, let's call it that. Chicken breast. There are mushrooms, pulled ham, and and pulled ham in the stew. This is a dish called vol au vent. A piece of bread is given with the stew. It's literally just like you cook a chicken, you slice it in like either in parts, or you like make you pull it apart. Pulled chicken works with this. You add like sliced ham, sometimes mushrooms, if you like it, you don't have to put those in. And then you, I believe you throw away like a bit of the water, but I'm not sure how much. And then you put in some cream to make the thing. I can actually look this up. So vol au vent is suddenly making me hungry. It is meatloaf, chicken, egg. Oh, this is for the little thing that it comes in. Yeah, pretty much just what I said. Like, sometimes people like to do, like, wines and stuff into it. You don't have to. This is definitely one. Then, the... next to is a dish that, contains a lot of beans and tomato sauce. The dish, the dish is enriched with minced beef, it's about as much beans as beef. And then this is 2 times herbal mix for that. This is cumin, my god, I completely forgot the name. What's that in English? Cinnamon. Cumin, cinnamon, chili, garlic, paprika, coriander, and a small pepper is added to heat the dish, to give some extra heat to the dish. Oh. There we go. And then brown stew is a dish that looks to be mostly long. That looks to be mostly pulled beef in a stew with herbs. This is... I can't get the name. What's the name again of that thing? I don't like it. Stewed meat. Literally what it is. Onions are added to enhance the flavor. It is brewed with beer. It is stewed in beer. There we go. That's the potluck. It's the name of the stall. Don't look too much into it. The next one let's say we had stewed. There's a small little bakery as well. The baker's dozen. 13 small bunny folk. Rengun. Kids are running around this stall with their two parents standing behind the table. Several loaves of bread laying about and ready for consumption. There's a loaf of sourdough, loaf of wheat, and a load of maize. And there's a whole wheat bread. Ah. Their entire lore is they have 13 kids, and they're called the Baker's Dozen. Yes, I'm funny. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. That being said, let's go to the next one. I had some other ideas before. Pastries. The bottomless hole. Because whenever you have eaten enough, there's always place for desserts. Oh boy. For some reason that hurts. Drinking hurts. You know that? Sometimes it does. Okay, a tall standing elven male. A tall elven male man is standing behind a desk seemingly made specifically for today. It's neat and filled to the brim with different kinds of pastries. Eclairs, Boule de Berlin, still like a good list of pastries. Haha, awesome. Yeah. Apple strudel, baklava, bear claw, Apparently this is the thing. Bosche Ball, which is a chocoladebol or a chocolate sphere in its city of origins, is a pastry from the Dutch city of 's-Hertogenbosch, also called Den Bosch. It's effectively a large profiterole, which is like a fried piece of dough, about 12 centimeters or 4.7 inches in diameter, filled with whipped cream and coated entirely or almost entirely with usually dark chocolate. Let's see, there's quite a couple things left. There's a butterkaka, which is a Swedish butter cake. Cinnamon rolls, that's the one. Shoe. And so on. Yeah, there's like pastries or small buns made using a stiff dough enriched with fat. 6 base type of pastries, but there's like a million of them. And then pastries and some sweet dishes. Yeah, let's call it that. Let's call it that. That's good enough for now. We had the food court gnome tossing. So this is one that DMB brought on earlier. Column. Okay, but before I do that, I am gonna take a small break. Oh. I have been fighting stuff for a second. I'll be right back. And for some reason, my music stopped again. Okay, give me a sec. Hi, I'm back. Sorry. Okay. Okay, now, this. You can go smaller. Right. That's gonna be that. Now, what's the next one? Gnome tossing! Correct, okay, cool. Let's do it in a secondary column, and then take on gnome tossing. Oh. Oh, yeah, fair. Makes sense, kind of. That's it? A set of garden gnomes have taken over part of the festival eating area, and some local kid has set up a stall to take one of these gnomes and toss them as far from the festival as you can. Close to the stall, there are building materials, wooden logs, planks, and the likes, ready to be used. The person who can toss the gnome the furthest by the end of the day wins a small prize. So, important. This is very player dependent. If the players want to make a trebuchet, make them make a trebuchet. There's no iron close by, so cannons would be unavailable. This includes things like trebuchet, ballista, stuff like that. If they find a way to punt the gnome across the fields, they're welcome to do it. They're welcome to give it a try. And I'm gonna more than happily give into this super important bit. Okay, that's gonna be that. And then we have the carousel. Carousel. Can I, like, get rid of this? What does it talk about in here? Let's see. Carnival locations, the ticket booth, the blue pop teapots, the carousel. A procession of wooden unicorns stands motionless on a circular wooden platform. There goes Clamber upon the unicorn's back, and the female centaur sets the ride in motion. And there goes my controller. Awesome. This contraption is a circular arena with wooden unicorns, manticores, gargoyles, flumps? Is that how you spell it? No, apparently not. Flumps. And other mythological creatures. Once people have set themselves on a saddle on these creatures, the carousel is set in motion by the attendant. This is also page 5. Page 5, there we go. Now in the afternoon. Let's give it a time as well. So the food court is open for more than an hour, but let's give it like 30 minutes that they are busy with that. Gnome tossing is gonna be, let's say, 1 hour. And the carousel is gonna be like 10 minutes. In the afternoon, the beer tent opens. The afternoon. So this is gonna contain the tavern, inn, and so on. The beer tent. So let's start with the beer tent. The beer tent is exactly what it says on the tin. A large tent with a single bar that serves 5 different kinds of beers. Lager, stout, technically mead isn't beer, but let's add it in. Dwarven stout, which is going to be heavier, and Elven lager. Elven dark. Then the tavern. Tavern is the place in town where people come and go to talk about their days and see about exchanging information and sometimes fisticuffs. That's how you spell it, right? Fisticuffs? Yeah, fighting with the fists. The Goliath tavern keeper known to stay quiet most of the time, but should a brawl happen in the tavern, he's more than willing to join in. The tavern. I'm gonna need a name for the tavern. I'm gonna need a name for the tavern. The Spoiled Ducklin could be a cool one. Cup's Bottom? They did ask specifically for some cheeky, some tongue-in-cheek humor. Okay, in. The inn in town has a smaller bar, but has rooms available for wandering travelers and people in need of shelter. There's a small kitchen attached, but this is mostly, wow, used to warm up stews from the potluck lady, from the lady of potluck. There we go. That's the beer tent. Now we have the Tower of Loot. So, can I do this? I don't think I can do this, right? Oh yeah, I can. Huh. Okay, so the Tower of Loot. This is gonna be something different. This is gonna... Blades in the dark? Is it? Dot? Minus hashtag. How do I comment in this? Mark down curly brackets span. Injection, purple header, vertical spacing, definitions and list, column breakdowns, tables, images, snippets. Is it literally? Literally is. Awesome. Just literally write comment. Okay. Near the southern edge of the festival stands a haphazardly erected tower. That's a word you can't use according to the current president of the United States of America. Erected, by the way. People are given 30 minutes to study the tower from the outside before heading in. When inside, they are given a small, medium, or large pack with items they can use. The small pack has 3 items, the medium 5, and the heavy has 8 items. Depending on the pack they are wearing, a small benefit or detriment is in place for the tower. Floor floor 1. On the inside, there are no stairs, no ladders, nor any other ways of going up. The outside has a wall with several protrusions. Yeah, protrusion. Something that sticks out. Can be used as a climbing wall, a well-hidden climbing rope, and a tree not standing too much away that is climbable. Find the way up. The players are not made aware of the outside climb. Floor 2. Okay, so in Blades of the Dark, you take like a week or something to study your environment and stuff like that, and then you head out to your quarry, and then you can flash back to things you have done before. This one specifically is the first one should be just looking outside at the outside of the thing before they can go in. This one I might ask them to see about having a flashback. Like, you could maybe do one of these in the thing. So there's a hole in the ceiling to the next floor. No. It's in the middle of the players can use a item from the bag or flashback to earlier whilst they were still out. No. An item from the back. Either a simple piece of equipment or an item they fashioned earlier can be done now in a flashback. Floor same mistake once again. Floor 3. A single guard on a chair, sitting on a chair, half asleep and not taking anything in of his surroundings. Characters need to be sneaky. They can, of course, try and harm the thing, but that's not necessarily my idea of it. And then, floor... Same mistake, floor 4. Otherwise, it's no tower, it's just a small house. A single large coin is... How'd you say this? Displayed in the middle of the room. If it's taken out of the display, without having checked or anything, the floor opens up and the players are fall down to floor 3 with the guards tossing them out. The loot is a single large brass coin of little worth. It does look like a good trophy of sorts, though. That's all they're gonna get from this. It's very little, it's very minor, but it's gonna be a little thing. And then the Dragonfly Rides. So this is also, once again, from the book, the Witchlight, the Witchlight Festival thing, the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Snail Racing, Carnival Events. Dragonfly Rides number 36. Huge lily pads rest on the surface of a pool, glistening with phosphorescent algae. Giant dragonflies use the lily pads as landing platforms, buzzing loudly overhead with wings as brilliant as stained glass windows, and alighted briefly to drop off and pick up excited passengers. Near the entrance, a small smiling tree turns your way and beckons you over. Red Squirrel clings to its leafy canopy, peering at you suspiciously. So this is Groot and Rocket. On a small pond next to the festival for giant lily pads rest. It's Lily. Is it Lily or Lily? Which 4 giant dragonflies use as landing pads. A gnome, not of the garden variety, stands at the edge of the pond and is helping a child on top of one of the dragonflies. If asked, he'll gladly help anyone take a ride on the dragonflies as well. The dragonflies move at a rapid pace and fly all over the festival, but have to take a rest every 10 minutes. There we go, that's the Dragon Ride Flies, that's gonna be that. This is all on page 6. There we go. Then we have the Haunted Mansion. This is the evening. Slightly to the east of the center of the festival stands a rickety mansion. A human man who's been painted to look like a zombie stands in front of a gate which people are seemingly taking a wide berth, wide berth. Steer a ship well clear of something. The man looks, is starting to look rather disheartened. This one is going to be a different game that I've been playing lately. This is going to be... when talking to the guy, he lets the players enter the mansion and gives them a sack of goodies. The sack contains... and here I believe I need a table. Can I just delete this? I actually can, awesome. Okay. Items. This is gonna contain a torch to give light, a thermoscope was only in the 17th century. Okay, cool. So not really a thermometer, so I'm gonna have to let them feel the temperature. So a purple light. It's gonna be a black light. They're gonna have a gyroscope. What are they called? Yeah, gyroscope. A book and quill. A candle. And like most of those are way too salt. Well, way too new from Phasmophobia itself, so I'm not going to be able to use that. The torch is to light up the place. The purple light shows where a spirit has recently touched a surface. A roscope is do certain to touch, play with. The book and quill invites a spirit to write forbidden knowledge in. The candle is a source of fire that is easy to be snuffed out by a ghost. Salt, when laid in a circle, can protect. When laid in a line, shows movement of certain spirits. Now I'm gonna need a table. Okay, so I might need more than this. Purple lights. Gyroscope. Book and quill. Candle. Salt. There we go. Nice. Wrong lever. Oh yeah, I need one more of these. Nope. There we go. So this one is going to be nothing. This one's 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 going to be nothing. No. This one's going to be nothing. Yeah. So something that likes to touch and likes to touch. Let's call it a poltergeist. Something that likes to that touches and gives knowledge. Lower demon. Something that likes to touch and puts out fires is gonna be a ice method. This is not 100% correct, and I'm not gonna be using this for any. Let's just call it spirits. Ice spirits. Hey, Geth. Something that likes to touch and walks through salt. Spirit, and then something that likes to touch and goes low in temperature. Purple light and gyrosphere is a poltergeist. This one we have a gyros. Oh, technically I could fill in these already. Lower demon. Ice spirit. Oh wait. Yeah, Wraith works. Salt is a spirit. And then for temperature, Wraith. Okay. Then for a gyroscope and a book and quill, something that likes to touch and give things. This is gonna be a Rakshasa. Something that makes things move and puts out candles. A wind spirit. Then something that does that and walks through salt. Not sure. Let's call it a ghost. And then the last one. Right here. Touch and temperature. This is gonna be a animated hands. This is gonna be here as well. Awesome. Book and quill and candle. This is gonna be a I was gonna say a student or something, but that's not really what we're going for here. Candle and a book and quill. Like, that could actually be a librarian or something, but... Grey Lady. That works. Then, Salt and Book and Quill. I only get things about ghost kitchens, not anything else. Since we've given them a name, let's call this one a Granny Smith. Get it? Because apples. And then a Book and Quill and Temperature is gonna be a... is it you? No, it's... you. A Fire Spirit, why not? Then we have a Candle and Salt. Apparently there's a thing called the Ghost Merchants. Cute little buggers. Salt and a candle. And this goes to next to Granny Smith. Hello? Oh, it's because that page is still loading an ad. Great. Yeah, I don't need that. Thanks. Phantom Wiki. Wee! Because That's definitely what I wanted. My entire computer to lock up thanks to a ad. Oh. I've been streaming nothing for the past bit. Okay, never mind then. Cool. Hi. I guess pretty much this the entire time anyway, so. And now Revenant suddenly has Revenant written twice inside the Revenant. Cool. Okay. And then we have temperature and candle. So temperature dropping and a candle. That could be a ooh, Frozen Spirit. So apparently the first couple things that I get are a rock band, a Pokemon, and stuff like that. Hantu. That makes sense. Let's do that. And do that here as well. No. Oh, and this one is put in the wrong place as well. Cool. And then, last but not least, temperature and salt. Sounds like a hot ghost. Will-o-wisp. Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of. Not necessarily, but let's just say that it makes sense. I'm gonna need a map. Hi, Geff. Yeah, fair enough. Let's stretch. It's been a bit. Let's see about... I just want a map, if I can. Might have to make my own map at some point in time, but I... Is that all you have? How do I add images? This is really gonna be quick and dirty. Like, oh. No, okay, never mind. In that case, let's. Oh yeah, it's this that I can delete. Let's see about images. Image. Hmm. Oh, does it need to be a whip? No. Hmm. In that case, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Okay. It's gonna be that. Drinking games. Switch over to that. People have been drinking all day and they're not gonna stop now cause the sun is setting. Let's have a drinking competition. Each player drinks a beer. After each beer they tally. If the tally goes above the Constitution modifier, they make a Constitution save. If they roll below 15, if they fail, each beer tally adds to the difficulty of the save DC. One beer is 10. Two beers 11, and so on. They could pretty much go up until the point they can literally no longer hold. A character with poison resistance starts at 8 instead. I was saving DC. Give him a little bit extra, but like some of these beers can still knock pretty much anyone out. It's fantasy. I'm gonna give him a advantage, but not the advantage. That's gonna be the drinking games, and then we have the talent show. Let the players have some fun with this. Let them sing, let them dance, do something. At the end of this, they get applauded or laughed at, depending on their roles. Anything above an 8, but below a 12 results in small applause. Anything below an 8 has at least one heckler. Everything above a 13 results in bigger applause. There we go, that's talent show, and then we have the nighttime activities. For that we have the fireworks show. There's a wizard in the middle of the festival who is setting off all sorts of fireworks. Tiny sparklers. Small rockets and rockets the size of the wolves. His cart stands a little off as to not cause any cinders to blast more than is needed. Merry and Pippin shenanigans appreciated. You can go. Oh, that apparently is not how I do this. Well, have I been doing it? Why does it show here but not above? What am I doing wrong? No. Oh, it's literally below. Okay, never mind then. And then last. After a full day of celebrations, the party finally heads off to bed, either in the inn or in a small encampment close by. So you can go, please. There we go. Oh, finally got music again. Yeah. That was quite long. How did that not happen before? Okay, never mind. Each member of the party gets a dream. 1. The Halfling Bard. I don't know anything about that Bard. I don't know anything about that Halfling. I would have liked to know a little bit more before, but hey. If this is how it's gonna be, then this is how it's gonna be, right? Okay, so I'm gonna page numbering. Okay, and then footnotes. Okay, I'm gonna make executive decisions on this one. You fall asleep and soon find yourself, as you were several years ago, standing on a stage in front of a large crowd. If this crowd is real or not, your conscious mind could not remember. But in your state of dreaming, this crowd seems all too real. What do you do? What do you play? Form? How did you get to play for this crowd? 2. The Elven Ranger Beastmaster. That's all I know. Again, no clue what else they want. Actually, no, this is gonna have to be number 3. Okay, the Dragonborn Artificer. Knowledge befalls you. You had dreams like this before, giving you hints on things long forgotten, or things are only visible to people with a keen mind, yours being one of those. Dens of animals, bandit encampments, towns and cities on maps you have created before and are now still carrying with. You know this information is useful and will be helpful in the days to come. Do you try to keep dreaming to gain more information, or do you try to wake up and write what you have down? And then the Elven Ranger. So specifically, the Elven Ranger is a player that specifically asked for a character to die in the first session, so that people know how this happens in D&D and what the next steps are. I'm gonna let this be a permadeath, unless the character would want to do a couple to talk about stuff in the meantime. So you dream about a forest you know. Not too far from here, but still a couple days out. The trees and animals are all familiar to you as you stroll through this forest. Where are you headed? After a bit of walking, you come across a bear that looks very friendly. What do you do? me a hug. Any given hug results into a bear on his lap. Any not action results in a bear hug from the bear. As the bear lays on top of you, you feel you struggle to move. You try to get from underneath the bear. DC 18 strength save. Success. Manage to get from underneath the bear. But soon a second bear starts wrapping up to you as like a dog. Was no longer underneath a bear, you're still trapped between a couple. Failure. You don't manage to escape. And the bear happily snuggles with you underneath it. Either way, the next step is gonna be damage. Gonna have to see. Okay. Okay, after a couple of seconds, you suddenly feel a piercing pain in your abdomen and wake up. Crimson pouring out of your out of a wound recently created by a short sword that's being handled by a group, by a assassin. This is gonna be an automatic critical hit. At advantage. Critical hit. And then they're gonna do 1d6 plus 3. 1d6 plus 3. And a con save 15. Fail 7d6 poison damage. Success. Halt. And that's gonna be twice because of 2 assassins. The next day. The body is found. No help can be given thanks to the tardiness of the the amount of time having passed. Assassins only left behind the body and the how do you call it? The known, the wounds brought to it. These wounds can be investigated, and it will be found that the assassins are from the empire that is bound to invade the kingdom. This invasion has just begun. And then 5 years pass. The other players are still alive, and after 5 years reconvene in the same town once more after being called by a benefactor that wants to help the kingdom become the people of the king live a better life. The assassin duke has grown sloppy, and it's time to take it out. So an assassin specifically is challenge rating 8, which would be way too high for characters of this level. I'm gonna let them fight. I'm gonna let them fight a assassin duke, which is grown sloppy, old, and tired. That's gonna be their main boss, but that's gonna be like a couple sessions in. Okay. I hope to be able to fit this in a 4-hour session. If not, I don't know. So the Tavern, the beer tent, let's say that's gonna take 30 minutes. Tower of Flute, that might take like 90 minutes. And the Dragonflight riding is gonna take 10 minutes. The Haunted Mansion is gonna take like 2 hours. The drinking games are most likely gonna take like 30 minutes. The talent show could be like 10 minutes. Fireworks show is gonna take 10 minutes. And the sleep is gonna take 8 hours. But that's gonna be that. Okay, cool. I think I did a thing. I'll only really be able to see what this is and what this does on Friday. I hope they like it. I don't know. I don't know them well enough. I know them well enough to know that they do not like combat as much as I do. So that's gonna be something. Right. I'm gonna keep this currently in my D&D folder. I'm gonna keep this in my D&D folder right here. And that should be fine. I might have to 3D print a puzzle. If I go to Bamboo Studio, let's do that. So, for those that do not know, I have a 3D printer, yada 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 yada. I have gone over this already. So, here we go. Back to this. Oh, I actually kind of want to not do this right now. Okay, puzzle. Let's see. There might be a couple of cool ones here. Like Tetris and stuff, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm specifically looking for something like this. Easy puzzle. Let's see. Yeah, this one looks okay. It needs to be easy, but not like too easy. Look at that, Paw Patrol. A stacking puzzle. Like, how does this work? Oh. So you have to puzzle them up, and then it becomes a stable tower instead of a tower with things like that. Oh, cool. That is cool, but not what I'm looking for. You know what? The one from before, this one is a fair... It's an easy version of my gift puzzle. I've also designed a new outer sleeve that is backwards compatible with both my older versions. Inner Maze is compatible with the outer sleeve from my harder version. Both of my other models are linked below. Harder version. That's a Merry Christmas puzzle. Yeah, I'm happy with this. How long would this take? This would take 5 hours and 158 grams of filament. That's not too bad. 2 plates. Let's download and open. I should be able to put those on 1 plate, right? There we go. And if I make both black and black, and this tower should not be needed. Oh wait, I can literally just delete. Printing now would be ruinous for me, specifically because my sister is sleeping. Okay, line width should be fine. Seam, wouldn't like them to be random. Seam gap 15%, smart scarf seam application. This should all be fine. So if I click slice again, it should tell me how long it will actually take. This will take 5 hours, 39 minutes. Cool. And all these white dots are the seams. If I click this, they're all gone. Awesome. Okay. This is gonna be fun to try and have them deal with, I hope. I'm not even sure how to, like... I think this is literally just like this nook goes in that, and then you twist and turn until it's down. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. Best part about this model is that the outer sleeve doesn't say Merry Christmas. Is it sleeve for all occasions? Yeah. So it doesn't say how to. Okay. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this. Save project. Yeah, gift puzzle easy. Okay, that's gonna be okay. Now, that's gonna be that for D&D. I'm gonna go to taking a break. And I will have to turn off my gaming screen at some point. This is going to be fine. Okay, now. Apart from that, okay. I'm going to call it quits here for YouTube. I'm going to be playing a little bit more. Where is... Oh, yeah, this is YouTube. You can stop. Yeah, so I'm gonna quit it here for YouTube. I'm gonna be playing a little bit more for full stream. I think I'm gonna be doing some Kerbal Space Program. Alright. For YouTube, see you in a bit. For stream, give me a sec.